All right, Miles, the Los Angeles Chargers. This is a team that's been through so many ups and downs, but when it mattered most, they got it done. They clinched a playoff berth last week with a win over the Indianapolis Colts to go into the playoffs, and they've got some great news just in time for the playoff push. They got a guy coming back that's a superstar that will make them a huge difference come playoff time, and I know you've got the specifics on that, Miles, but before I hand over to you, Chargers fans, like I already alluded to, this is a team that found a way to clinch a playoff berth. Let us know in the comment section below who you want to see the Chargers play in the first round of the playoffs. Give us the opponent you really want to see Justin Herbert and company line up against in the comment section below. But Miles, give us the latest out of LA.
Yeah, Nick. When you think of Chargers, you think of elite pass rushing, and you got a guy like Khalil Mack, who he might not have gotten the media notoriety this season. Just he's kind of like fallen off their radar, but he has been very, very good this season. But Nick, that's not even their best pass rusher on the team. Some people may have forgotten a guy by the name of Joey Bosa, who has now been designated to return from IR. His 21-day window is up just in time for the playoffs, Nick. And I have a quote from him right here that Chargers fans are going to love. He participated in practice this week. In 15 reps he took in practice. He said he felt really good on all of them. He feels like he is better than he has ever felt in his life. He's coming back really good. I think this is going to be a huge boost for the Chargers come playoff time, because that defense, Nick, with all the playmakers all around the ball, if you can get a guy like Bosa back, pair him with Derwin James, pair him with Khalil Mack, that is going to be a deadly, deadly pass rush. So I'm excited to see how that comes, and I want to see him progress down the stretch. But Nick, how big is this Joey Bosa return for the Chargers defense?
Yeah, I think it's massive, right? Because obviously Bosa is a great player, so anytime you get a great player back, that's a huge lift. But it goes beyond that, because anytime you look for a wild card team to make a lot of noise, to make a run in the playoffs, there's really two things you look for. Number one, you got to have good quarterback play to carry your team. Obviously, the Chargers have that in Herbert, who's an absolute stud. There's no denying that. But the second formula is you have to have guys that get after the quarterback from your side, pass rushers. This is what the New York Giants famously in 2007 and 2011 did. They rode Eli Manning in a pass rush to the Super Bowl. The Ravens famously did this with Joe Flacco. Flacco gets hot. They've got a great set of pass rushers. They run all the way to the Super Bowl. The 49ers made a run a couple years ago as well. Not really with the quarterback, the running game, but similar kind of concept. They leveraged their pass rush, powered the way to the Super Bowl last year. They made it all the way to the NFC Championship game. So that's exactly the formula to find a way to make a deep playoff run. Have a great quarterback play and a great pass rush. And getting Bosa back gives the Chargers all the elements they need to make a big playoff run. Because if you look at this defensive line, right, when you factor in Khalil Mack, when you factor in Bosa, when you factor in Sebastian Joseph Day, throw in Kyle Van Noy, you throw in Morgan Fox, this is a defensive front that can be a terror for opposing quarterbacks and opposing offenses come playoff time. Right now, if Bosa comes back and is healthy, and it looks like he is, no one wants to play this Chargers team. Before it was because Justin Herbert could get hot. Now it's because this defense could just make a quarterback's day just absolutely terrible. This is a dangerous football team right now, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, Nick, and there's some other guys around the ball, too. You look like Drew Tranquil in the linebacking core. He's been playing pretty decent, especially in the stead of J.C. Jackson. The secondary isn't too bad. 65-plus grades across the board per PFF, highest being Davis. He's got a 70.8 grade, Michael Davis. So this is just really interesting to me, Nick, to see how well this defense has meshed, and then getting such a huge addition as a guy like Joey Bosa back. It's really going to give them that boost. Because what do you want, Nick? When you're going into the playoffs, you don't want to be hot going into the beginning of the season, midway of the season. You kind of prefer, like you said, that New York Giants approach where you get hot late and then make that run. Having a guy come back right before the playoffs, giving your team that boost. I remember that Ravens playoff run you talk about. Ray Lewis gets hurt. Then all of a sudden he uses some magic deer antler velvet spray on his bicep, comes back, and really hypes the team up. And this is what that reminds me, like a Joey Bosa, a huge veteran leader, coming back to the defense, pump everyone up to make this push for a deep, deep playoff run. And I think they have the tools to do it, Nick. I think everyone coming back, being healthy. This is the first time in a long time they've had all of their receivers back around the ball. Palmer's really developed into a nice tool. So I really like what's happening on this Chargers team.
Yeah, and I'll leave you with this, Miles. This is according to Daniel Popper over at The Athletic. He covers the Los Angeles Chargers. He interviewed Joey Bosa, and I'll leave you with this quote from Bosa. Quote, I'm feeling better than I have in years, unquote. That's a great sign for the Chargers fans going to playoffs and a really bad sign for any of their potential opponents in the AFC. Like I said, this Chargers team looks absolutely dangerous right now.